Since March 24, 2025, northern China has been battling extreme weather as a massive sandstorm swept through Inner Mongolia, Xinjiang, and Beijing, plunging cities into darkness and suffocating residents in thick dust. Just as people were struggling with hazardous air conditions, a 4.4 magnitude earthquake struck Hebei Province in the early hours of March 26. The tremors were strongly felt in Beijing, Tianjin, and surrounding areas, jolting many residents awake in the middle of the night. Some Beijing residents described feeling their beds shaking, windows rattling, and alarms blaring. Beginning on Monday, fierce sandstorms driven by strong winds from Mongolia spread across Inner Mongolia, Xinjiang, and northern China, covering entire cities in a thick layer of dust. Beijing woke up to an apocalyptic scene as the sky turned yellow, visibility dropped dramatically, and the air was filled with a choking dust storm.
这里是2025年3月25号的实时天气啊！嚯，我给你天气预报7级风啊，预测最少8级以上啊！哇，漫天黄土，哎呦我去了，这太得理了。
The Inner Mongolia Meteorological Bureau issued a yellow sandstorm warning, warning that areas would face severe conditions, with some locations experiencing visibility below 100 meters. Residents were forced to stay indoors as the sandstorm paralyzed transportation, closed schools, and shut down businesses.
In
Xinjiang, southern regions like Kashgar, Hotan, and Aksu were also badly hit. Strong winds stirred up massive dust clouds, forcing flight cancellations and temporary highway closures. In Hejing County, winds reached levels 13 on the Beaufort scale, making it nearly impossible to drive safely. The sky turned an eerie brown, and residents had to wear masks and goggles just to go outside.
Look 内蒙的风有多大，看这么大的房顶，楼的房顶都被吹下来了，底下还被砸了好几个车。
Beijing wasn't spared either. The city was completely engulfed in dust, with the air quality index reaching hazardous levels. Residents complained that 5 minutes outside felt like eating an entire bag of sand. Some shared images of skyscrapers barely visible through the thick yellow haze. The Beijing Environmental Monitoring Center urged people to stay indoors, especially children, the elderly, and those with respiratory issues. Even sanitation workers struggled as strong winds constantly blew new layers of dust onto already clean street.
大北京地震了，正还没下班呢，1点半了，这北京晃了一下，地震了，真是有点意外。哪儿了？哪儿走？
Just as residents were enduring the sandstorm, another disaster struck. At 1:21 a.m. on March 26, a 4.4 magnitude earthquake hit Ansai District, Langfang City, Hebei Province, sending tremors through Beijing, Tianjin, and other nearby areas. Many residents had just started to fall asleep after a day of battling the sandstorm, only to be violently shaken awake by the tremors. Beijing residents in Daxing, Fengtai, Chaoyang, and Dongqing reported feeling the quake strongly, with many saying they were suddenly woken up by the shaking of their beds and windows. Others described hearing alarm systems going off as their phones blared emergency warnings. Between the sandstorm and the unexpected earthquake, northern China has faced an exhausting and nerve-wracking 2 days. Crops and infrastructure have been damaged, travel has been disrupted, and millions of people have been affected.
This is北三环到北二环之间，看这是风有多大，树都刮断了，这么粗的树都刮断了，看到吗？
Experts warn that more sandstorms could arrive in the coming days as strong winds and dry conditions continue in the region. Authorities are urging people to stay indoors, wear masks, and take precautions. Meanwhile, geologists are closely monitoring aftershocks, as earthquakes in Hebei can sometimes lead to larger seismic activity in the North China Plain.